Okay everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amantis. Today we're going to be playing Chicken Police Painted Red. The last time we were playing, in the last episode, we were back at the hotel with Marty on this time, and we were able to ask Marty a couple of questions. For example, a couple of banters between Sonny and Marty, and it shows a little bit more of the in-depth relationship between them as partners, and also a little bit of the relationship between them and Zip, who's the owner of the hot dog previously. So we're gonna be diving back into the story and see what happens next. Let's do this.
Yeesh. My condolences, pal.
Yeah, she's a cigarette. Yeah, true. Except for Monica.
Monica.
Seen all this before. We probably have already asked him. Oh no, wait,
When was the last time I was here?
Have you been there before?
So she just turned?
We're gonna skip past the dialogue.
So the Czar Club, huh? Oh, hi, Mr. Singh.
Since we've already done this in the previous episode. Just when we get through.
Huh. The old... Who's that shaggy creature? I didn't know you... You weren't an orphan, were you? Ah, man,
It's like it wasn't even us.
So this is them. Those guys were some...
Okay, we've been through this before, so we're just gonna skip forward. So that we can progress onto the story.
You know, my wife took all the...
Already done the asking.
So am I...
Well, the floors...
Gonna be...
I don't even know...
We've collected everything. We've collected everything from the drawer in one of the previous episodes. We've got the codex entries, and we've got a little bit of the city. Right, okay, let's move on. So this is the Clawville Police Department. We probably don't want to go back there yet. Got the hot dog that we can somehow go back to. And otherwise we're gonna have to go to the city. Probably... Should we go back to the hot dog for a moment? No, we've already been there once, so let's get back to the story. Okay, let's go to the Czar Club. This is what we're here for. Alright, let's go, guys.
Midnight had passed, and the intoxicated madness kicked in. We could only crawl along Shalva District's main street toward downtown. The city's heart beat differently. Ancient buildings were defaced by neon signs and billboards, like half-drunk lovers on a fine leather sofa. Great old houses neighbored by garish modern blocks. A place that makes the head hurt. The Tsar's huge neon sign was visible for miles. A blazing red sign advertised tonight's main attraction, the amazing Natasha. Cops were never welcomed at places like this. I hoped we were too late for the show. We had to be inconspicuous, but it was never easy with this bird mountain by my side.
Ah, so this is the famous Czar Club.
More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here.
Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird.
Very funny, Marty.
So what are we gonna do now?
We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first, we need to get into the club. And Marty, please, don't monkey this up.
Excuse me? On behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville?
Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay?
As you say, Boss Bird.
Okay, we've come to the Czar Club, and it looks like that we've got quite a lot of new people, new things that we can click on. Though we have Lewis. Remember Lewis from the first episode whom we met at the hotel? This is a Czar Club, a poster, and this neon sign, and a fancy car here, a newspaper here, and an advertisement tower, and we probably have to get past this bouncer. And there's a strict lady. So why don't we look at the poster first? In the most colorful club of the most colorful city, my city is on fire. Brand new hit from the Queen of the Night.
You know, seeing this, I can't wait for the show.
The girls?
New Year's Eve's once a year, right? And we're not on duty.
Have I asked how Laura's doing?
Whoa, hey, I was just kidding, okay? My relationship with Laura is unwavering, like the rhino beauty on this picture.
Interesting taste you've got.
Feathers, scales, or dermal armor, a lady's a lady, my friend.
Thank the wild gods for self-sacrificing gentlemen like you.
That's one way to piss him off. Just to see if they have any more extra banter.
My city is on fire. This is it. It was on the flyer from Deborah. Maybe we'll get to hear it, if we're unlucky. From none other than our secret employer, Natasha
A job with benefits, huh?
Don't be tasteless.
Oh, I get it now. The title. Do you think it's about the Great Fire of Clawville?
Did you ever think of being a detective?
Very funny.
Let's see if they've got any extra banter.
My city is on fire. This is it. It was on the...
So that was a repeat. Okay, let's get out of here. And let's take a look at the fancy car over here.
Whoa, look at that. Isn't that the new...
It is, Marty. A brand new 942 Silver Hawk. Haven't seen such beauty since I left Averia.
Of all that's furry, whose is it?
Maybe it's Ibn Wessler's. I guess he's no paper tiger.
Yeah, he sounds like a fellow who drives around in one of these. Lucky bastard.
What a beautiful car.
A work of art.
Seeing it and thinking about my little rusty Cobbett breaks my heart.
Don't torture yourself, Sonny. Only way we're ever gonna drive one of them is if we sign up for the mob.
Maybe it would be worth it.
I think we'd be great gangsters in another life.
Here they are drooling over the car. Let's take a look at the sign here.
One day, neon signs will cover the whole world, I'm telling you.
You read that in some kind of science fiction book?
No, it's just what I think.
Oh, so you have your own thoughts now. The world's really moving forward.
Pluck off, Sonny.
Extra sarcasm from these two. I love it.
The Czar Club. I'm not gonna forget this buzzing red neon light anytime soon.
Let's take a look at the newspaper.
Do you remember when the Clawville Chronicle was a really high-quality newspaper?
You mean when they wrote something about us daily?
Yeah. What exactly happened to them?
Well, they got bored with us, Marty. And to be honest, so did I.
But still, here we are working together again. Funny, huh?
Yeah, hilarious.
We can take a look at the codex entry that we just received. Okay, let's swip over. For Alaterra. Okay, let's look at the Clawville Chronicle. Let's see what it says here. The Clawville Chronicle is the most read and highest quality newspaper in the city. It's so famous that it's also being read beyond Clawville's borders, and not just in the colonies. This was the paper that first published an article about the two heroic roosters, aka the Chicken Police. The article was written by Timothy Saltwater, as the Seagull journalist who has since become somewhat of a legend himself. Yeah, at least we learned a little bit about the newspaper and the kind of news that the chicken police used to get and the kind of newspapers they used to be on. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, nope, nothing else. Maybe I'll learn a little bit more about the newspaper.
Tonight, maybe we'll be on the front page once again.
Oh, God forbid.
You don't want it. Okay, here's the advertisement tower. Let's see what it says.
Huh, I like this.
Why is that?
I don't know. 'Cause it's moving, I guess.
You're a simple bird, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
This looks like a. Oh wow! It almost looks like a love triangle over there.
Epur si muove.
Oh, bless you.
It means, and yet it moves, bird brain. An old wolf named Galileo said that.
Oh, I see. And what did he mean by that?
Dunno. I think there was something wrong with his stomach.
Ouch.
Oh dear. Okay.
Epur si muove.
Oh, bless.
I've seen that. Let's go back. And let's talk to Lewis here. Let's see what he's doing.
Hey, that's your old friend, right? Wait, what was his name? Lawrence? Lamar? No, Liam.
Lewis. Yes, it's him.
To be honest, Sonny, I always thought that guy's not all there in the head.
Nobody's perfectly sane in Clawville, Marty. But if not for this old rabbit, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget that.
Should I thank him for that?
Or kill him for it.
You're reading my mind, boss.
Let's talk to him. Let's talk at the.
Honestly, I think these types of women only see faceless tuxedos, cufflinks, and wallets. And in the mirror, they're just brooches, necklaces, and earrings.
Don't be so radical, Marty. They're women. They live by different rules.
That was kind of deep.
It's not. Just bullshit. There's more where that came from.
Ooh, teach me, master.
When you're old and wise like me, you'll realize none of it is worth a damn thing.
Wait, that was deep again, right?
Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was.
Amazing.
So funny how Marty is amazed by everything. Let's talk to Lewis here.
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner. But I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
Lawrence? Anyways, so, the legendary chicken police back together? Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. That's a shame.
See you inside?
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay then. Catch you later, pal.
Lewis seems kind of nervous when he's stuttering like that.
Let's not bother him again.
Yes, sir.
Let's not bother her.
Okay, boss.
That fella's built like a brick shithouse. I don't think we'll be able to just sneak past him.
Wanna bet?
Not today, Marty. Remember, we must avoid suspicion.
Okay. No trouble. I get it. It's okay, Bertha. Maybe next time.
What was that?
Nothing. Just the wind.
Did you bring Big Bertha with you?
Gods, no. What are you thinking? What idiot would bring a shotgun to a club?
Was that a rhetorical question?
It's so funny how he just shows up. And suddenly Big Bertha just comes onto the screen and he's giving Bertha some little sweet talk. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to talk to the bouncer. Okay, let's see what what they say about him.
Jeez, look at that guy.
That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel.
Yeah, I bet his name's Bill.
Nah, he's definitely a Bob.
$5 for Bill?
Okay, I'm in.
Alright, let's talk to him.
Howdy, pal.
Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful, chilly night?
We're expected in the VIP lounge.
My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask?
Stop right there, big guy. I get it. Yeah, I know exactly how this works. So what do you have to do to get in?
Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list?
The list? Yeah,
Don't tell me you forgot.
I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy, but I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight.
That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
Alright, we've got a new function over here. We can ask him a couple of questions. Can look at the police, ask about police badge, Lewis Hayworth, and Natasha Katzenko. Let's just ask him just straight down the line.
Look, I really don't want any trouble, but...
It is even more inconvenient for me, sir, but this place doesn't like coppers. Forgive this slang. I can't let just anybody in, and there are some I am strictly forbidden to. Please, you have to understand.
Listen here, you cow. Do you have any idea who we are? You ever read the papers?
Of course, I know who you are, sir. I read the news and more, and I must admit it's an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Santino Featherland and Mr. Marty Machikin. The Bell of the Pantheress is one of my favorite books.
Oh my God, not the books again.
So it would be terribly inconvenient for me if I had to use force on you, gentlemen.
What did you just say?
Relax, Marty. This guy has chicks like you for breakfast. Thanks for the information, pal. Have a nice night.
Thank you for understanding, gentlemen, and forgive me for my austere composition.
No problem, Shakespeare.
Okay, we cannot get past him with the police badge. Let's see if we can ask him about Lewis.
Say, big guy, you know Mr. Lewis Hayworth?
But of course, Mr. Hayworth is an impeccable gentleman, and also a frequent visitor of the club.
Is that so? Good to know. And?
I'm afraid that is all, monsieur.
Okay, we have some valuable information here. At least we now know that Lewis Hayworth is a regular customer at the Czar Club. And finally, let's ask about...
What can you
Natasha.
tell me about the first lady of the place, big guy?
You mean Miss Natasha Katzenko, sir?
You're right on point, pal.
Nothing you don't know already, sir.
Just try me.
Well, she owns the place.
And, that's it? Well, that's, unbelievable.
Pardon, monsieur, but I'm not permitted to say anything more.
Alright. We cannot get past him without getting to Lewis. So let's talk to Lewis for a moment.
Look, Lewis, that bouncer over there.
Well, yes. He is a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable. Am I right?
Yes, indeed, but it seems tonight we're not on his list.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you.
Yeah, something like that.
No, 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 no. No, no problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him.
Much obliged, pal.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny.
Excuse me.
Ah, jeez, what the hell's wrong with you, Marty?
What? Did I say something wrong?
Always, Marty. Always.
Let's not bother her.
Okay, boss.
Sir, how'd you do?
Everything's fine, Mr. Hayworth.
Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay?
Lâche-la-mon, sir.
And as for you, you owe me one, gentlemen.
Thanks, old pal.
It was my pleasure to help you, as always.
And looks like we can go in. Can we go in? Yes, we can.
The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band in sight, yet the music seeped from the walls like years of cigarette smoke and the smell of spilt whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone like me. No matter how alien I felt, it was strangely like coming home. Welcome to the Czar. Well, here we are.
Alright, we're inside.
Mother of...
I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Oh, men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real.
Okay, let's take a look around. Oh, wow. We have the bar area. We've got a bartender we can talk to. And we have no idea who this is. We have a waitress in the form of looks like a rabbit. Yeah, we have a cheetah, Big Buck. Big Buck and his lady friends. Look on the stage. It's Foxfella and his lady. Probably Deborah. We don't know. And this is more patron. Another patron. And this is a henchman. That is one scary looking cat. There's a couple of movie posters. Alright, let's see what we can do first. Let's look at the things that we can actually get some comments over. Let's look at the movie posters first. This is called The Loudest Howl featuring Cassidy Lupus and Cassandra Ruby Faye. He has the case, he has the girl, he has the gun, he is the alpha. It looks like a James Bond movie.
Huh. Another Lupus movie. Jeez. Is there nothing today they're not trying to sell with this guy?
Whoa, don't be rude, Sonny. Lupus is a timeless genius. Have you seen Predator City? God, I'm still getting chicken bumps. But wait, who's that next to him?
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Nah, never heard of her.
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Oh, gods, even her name makes me go weak in the knees.
Watch your blood pressure, pal.
Don't mind me, just women and guns are my only weakness.
Huh. No shit.
Take a look at it up. Let's see if there's an extra banter.
Remember the name, Marty. Cassandra Ruby Faye.
Marty, shut up.
Marty seems infatuated at this point. Let's take a look at the other movie posters. Let's take a look at this one. It's called Hannibal Bogan and Bandicoot. The picture they were bra for. It looks like two sheep. Is that two sheep? The big sheep. Let's see the comments.
You think this is one of those movies where the femme fatale gets everything in the end and the poor detective's left stranded?
Yep, just like life.
I have to admit the poster really reminds me of Gone with the Wind somehow, in a slightly different pose.
You're old, Sonny. I mean, experienced. Have you ever met a woman like that in real life? Who floors you with a glance and leaves only heartbreak?
Well, actually...
Oh, but I didn't mean to... I'm sorry, Sonny.
Marty and his comments.
You're old, Sonny. I mean, experienced.
Let's get back. Let's take a look at this movie poster here. It says Hicks Poodle, Claire Turmoil, and Anna Shiny in Murder, my tweet.
Ooh, I've seen this. Hicks Poodle plays a private eye, hired to look for a woman, then gets into some kind of blackmail thing that's connected to the first case, and...
Hey, Marty?
What, yeah?
I don't give a shit.
Kind of reminds us of the current situation we're in.
It's a classic, and kind of reminds me of the situation we're in right now.
How so?
I don't know. A mysterious case, a mysterious woman, strange threats, some off-duty investigation.
So?
Like, think about it. What if we're in a movie, and this whole mess is just fiction?
Marty, I think you're having a nervous breakdown.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh wow, look at this. Featuring Veronica, Kate, and Robert Fodder, called This Done for Hire. Let's see what they say about this poster.
Oh, I know this fodder guy. He was kinda good in Death of the Horse.
You've seen every clucking movie.
You know, Laura and I go to the movies a lot. When was the last time you went?
Exactly 12 years ago.
Oh, you remember that precisely? Let me guess. Molly?
Yep, our very first date.
I see. What did you watch?
I don't remember. I just remember her. And nothing else.
You're a clucking poet. I mean it.
What weird titles these have.
I'll have to admit, Marty's a bit of a movie buff. Okay, that's the end of the line. I'm not talking to the henchman yet. We'll talk to... Instead, we'll take a look at the stage first.
I was hoping to have missed the main event.
You're a rusty old cock, that's why.
So says the little butt jam.
But what? That's not even a word.
It is now, all because of you. You should feel honored. Butt jam.
You know, Sonny, sometimes you're like an evil little child.
See if they have any more banter happening here.
What is it, butt jam?
Nothing, old fart.
What is it, butt jam?
Nothing, old fart.
Gotta love that way they're insulting each other. Alright, let's see what else we can look at. Let's look at this fox fella couple.
A fox is a wolf who sends flowers.
What?
Oh, nothing. I read it somewhere.
Fascinating. I didn't know you could read.
Ha ha ha. Very funny. Remember that old case with the fox and the raven?
How could I even forget?
Absurd, right? All that bloodshed for a piece of cheese.
Yeah, hunger can bring out the monster in animals, right?
And the wildest and most primordial instincts, no matter how civilized they seem.
As you say, Marty.
Let's go back to Big Buck. I love this flapper dress happening.
So, where the hell is Natasha?
Let's ask that stud over there with those nice gals.
That guy looks way too horny for my taste.
Oh man, your sense of humor is bad as ever.
You just need to get used to it again.
What if,
Way too horny. I love it. I love this joke.
this is the life, huh? What's this guy do? Real estate? Mob accountant? Or is he a movie star?
He looks like a coat hanger to me.
That was actually worse than the previous joke.
I try.
Oh, coat hanger. It works. It works out. Especially if he's hanging it out at the door. Look at the waitress.
She has pretty long legs. I mean, pretty and long legs for a squirrel, but I don't want to be prejudiced.
We're not here to stare at pretty squirrels. We're here to investigate, remember?
At least we now know this is officially a squirrel.
That girl is looking at me.
She's just looking at anyone whose glass is empty, Marty. That's all.
No, Sonny. She was staring at me, like, hard. Now, I saw it.
Marty, you're imagining things. Oh, wait a second.
You see that, right? She's looking right at us with those big, black, weird squirrel eyes.
Okay, Marty, don't panic. Just look elsewhere and walk away slowly.
Creepy little squirrel girl.
This looks like a henchman. Let's talk to the bartender first.
A man's best friend.
That's not a dog, Sonny. That's a horse. He just has a very weird mane.
I didn't mean him, Marty. I meant the bar.
Oh, I see, right. Yeah, because that totally makes sense.
Let's talk to him.
2 whiskeys, kid, and no horsing around.
I've never heard that one before. Sonny, you gotta drive, you know?
Yeah, you're right, Marty. Hey, Longface, give me a glass of tap water, too, okay?
Yes, sir. Coming right up. That wasn't exactly what I meant.
As I recall, you're always bragging about hiding your shotgun in your coat so well, no one can see it.
Sure. Maybe I have it with me now. What?
Well, do you see that bottle, Marty? That's a 28-year-old Golden Eagle whiskey.
Of all the furry gods, you're right.
And they've just left it on the bar. Someone ordered it, got so drunk he forgot all about it. So?
So we're confiscating it as evidence.
Yeah. Well, more like stealing it. But if it's easier for you.
You're twisted, pal. But to be honest, I've no objections.
Okay, we've got the ask function unlocked. Let's see what we can ask about. We can ask about Natasha. Let's just do that.
Tell me, hey Breath, have you seen Natasha tonight?
Not yet, sir. But she's coming on soon.
Well, can you tell me anything about Mr. Ibn Wessler?
Sir, I don't want to.
What about, let's see, $5 maybe?
But, sir, you haven't even paid for your drinks yet. Yeah, stop riding on the details, Big Nose. You do your job, and we'll do ours, okay?
I mean, we're not here for work, of course. We're just here to relax.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just a little fun. Of course, gentlemen.
Okay, it seems that he doesn't want to talk more about Ibn Wessler. And let's see what we can get out of this guy.
Hey, there's Filmar.
Who? Oh, yes, Filmar. Because that's what he calls himself, right?
You know him well?
We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Averia, way before Clawville. Another place and another life.
Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap Pulp Fiction book.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to.
Or at least we now know that his name is called Filmar. Let's see what information we can get on this character. Filmar, where are you? Nope, not on this page. Filmar, yep, here we go. Name is Filmar Lowe, is a falcon, and special feature, an absolutely average, forgettable guy, and my old acquaintance from Avira. Okay. Alright, let's go out. Let's talk to him.
Well, well, if it isn't the great detective, Marlowe.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Filmar Lowe.
So says someone who tried to go undercover with a feather pillow mafia is a turkey. Right, Mr. Turk Cayman?
Hey, that was a long time ago. I was young.
And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Filmar Lowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clucked tonight.
I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. Are you here for a good old-fashioned beating?
We stick out? Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole.
Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that.
You want a case?
5 feet tall, half of that legs. Angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual.
Oh, boy.
And you?
Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers.
Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean.
Any useful information?
For free?
Stop clucking around, Philmar.
All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about her before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other, I'll deny you in a blink.
Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back.
We seems to have a little bit of a cutscene. We've had Lewis coming in with his stork lady. And here's an henchman, and we can... Oh no, wait, that was Ibn. Yes, that was Ibn, and that's a dame with Ibn. Let's look at the clue over here. I love this drawing, by the way. Good old Philmar must know something about Natasha that could be important for the case, but he won't talk until I meet her. He seemed a bit nervous. It must be something really significant. Okay, let's take a look at Philmar a little bit more. Okay, we have personal information unlocked. Philmar, the name he goes by nowadays, is an old comrade before the Clawville times. He is one of the best private eyes in the city, and just like most of them, he gets into trouble with the law pretty often. Yet he is one of the very few people who can still be trusted in Clawville. It's very ironic, isn't it? Let's see if we can get some extra information. Nope. Way down over here. Let's see if we can talk to the henchman.
This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman.
Of course he's not.
Should we talk to him? Should we talk to Wessler?
Isn't that...
Yes, it is. The great Ibn Wessler, in the flesh. So much for our incognito.
You think he noticed us?
Only if he's not entirely blind.
Great.
Can we actually talk to him? Or the dame?
That woman with Ibn. I think I know her from somewhere.
Maybe in your dreams, pal.
Should we take another look at her?
The memories are returning.
Geez, just spare me the dirty details. Just try to act normal, as much as you can.
Yup, that's him. The big rat in the flesh.
Well, it looks like this unpleasant conversation can't be avoided.
We can actually talk to him. Let's see. Let's take a look at if we can get some extra information. We've already exhausted our options here. Let's turn back to this side of the stage, and let's talk to him.
Just act nonchalant, my friend.
No, it can't be.
What now?
Is that Olivia?
No, Marty.
Hey, Olivia.
Are you talking to me?
It's me, Marty McChicken.
Oh, God.
What a pleasant surprise. The Roaster Copper's in person.
Chicken police. But yeah, Mr. Wessler, you could say so. The name's...
Sonny Featherland, of course. Chicken police. Your partner is, he is,
Marty McChicken, sir. I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy to see you.
Hello, boys.
So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen?
Yeah, so, we were, just in the neighborhood, and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing. You know, horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint. The usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's, nasty business. But I didn't know Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter. But to be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see. But I'm kind of busy.
Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us.
Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So, how can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service.
Oh, nice. We can ask questions. We can ask questions to Ibn. Let's take a look at the extra information that we've got at this point. Okay, we don't have any information on Ibn, so let's talk about Olivia. Yes, Olivia. Her name is Olivia Blackwig, and she's a crow, special feature, and usually tall and slim for a crow. She is quiet and mysterious. Her personal particulars. Olivia is currently Ibn Wessler's assistant and escort. Finding out whether there's anything other than a working relationship between Miss Crow and Mr. Rat could prove valuable. Well, it could be a proof of we could do some blackmailing if we wanted to. Let's take a look. Nope. Okay. Let's ask him some questions. Let's see. Okay, we can ask him about the Czar Club, about himself, about Lewis, Natasha, and Olivia. Let's go down the list as usual.
Nice bunker you got here.
Well, thank you, but it's not mine. Not anymore. But I'm sure you already know that. Listen, detective. If you want to know something, please ask straight, huh?
All right, Mr. Wessler, let's make this a bit more professional.
We can do the questioning part.
I'm not as exciting as people tend to believe. I grew up in a poor family of many siblings. I'm the only one still alive, unfortunately. My career started with a shoe store, and now, here I am.
I wouldn't call that an average life. Shoe store owner to mob boss.
How dare you speak to Mr. Wessler like that?
Leave it, Olivia, dear. It's just provocation.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Mr. Wessler. Shall we talk about something else?
Let's talk about Lewis.
Everybody knows Mr. Hayworth. He's an antique piece of furniture in this city, so to speak.
Only a bit worn out.
It's not my fault that he's so much in debt, detective, but the name of his family still rings quite loud in Clawville.
Is that still worth anything?
The name is just their name, of course, but the man behind the name is another matter, Mr. Featherland.
You're a pragmatic rat.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Natasha.
Look, detective, if you want to know something, just ask.
All right, Mr. Wessler.
Talk about Olivia as well.
Has your assistant been working for you long?
Are you talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you, ma'am.
Let me answer your question then. I've been in Mr. Wessler's employment for 6 months. Why do you ask?
Oh, just routine questioning, you know. Most of them aren't good for anything. Just killing time.
It sounded rude to me.
Yeah, please forgive her, detective. Olivia's a real firecracker.
Alright, now we can get to the juicy part. Let's get to the questioning. Or we can take a look, another look at how this works. Okay, we got okay, this is at least we know that Olivia has only been working for 6 months. But despite the rudeness happening, there is still some valuable information over here. So let's get to the questioning part.
Wessler is a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be cunning. I can't just pin him against a wall. Yet.
Okay, at least least we now know that he's a tricky guy. He already doesn't like us very much, so we are not starting at neutral like last time. We're starting at the negative meter. And we only have one question, so let's get on with it.
How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kinda interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay, so we've got mistrustful. And we can either ask him, you seem a very busy man, may I ask what you do, or why didn't you just call the police? Let's go with the second option.
Why didn't you just call the police?
Huh? Why? What would have been the use of that? A few messages aren't enough for a case. You should know that.
Harassment makes for a case. So do threats.
Who were you trying to convince, Sonny, huh? They would have laughed in my face. Anyway, you know, the police station. Once I set foot in there, I'm not coming out again.
Your lawyers are too good for that, Ibn.
Yeah, I guess you're right, chicken.
Nope, we have... it's gone down again, so we've got the secretive. And we have... Do you think we're really think we're that stupid? Why would anyone have reason to blackmail a girlfriend? Well, let's go with the second option.
Why would anyone have reason to blackmail your girlfriend?
I don't know, maybe because she's my girlfriend?
You think that's enough?
It's plenty enough.
Good point.
Oh, are you finally getting to a point? Or do you really want to dig around in my private life? Because, people who do that end up in the alley, if you catch my drift.
Very much so, Mr. Wessler. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush.
We've got four questions, and the current impressions we have are tricky, mistrustful, secretive, and he is quick-tempered. And he's squinting at us right now. Don't you find these messages dangerous? Are you and Natasha close? Do you spend a lot of time here? Were there any similar incidents in Natasha's past? We can ask about Natasha, just to beat about the bush.
Were there any similar incidents in Natasha's past? I mean, threats, blackmail, enemies or insane fans, psychopath pianists, perhaps.
I don't know about enemies, but she's a celebrity. A star shining bright in Clawville's night sky. Do you understand? She gets endless fan mail. It could be anybody. I wouldn't overreact.
Natasha doesn't feel that way.
I've noticed.
Yeah, at least we've added an extra 15 points. We have... Start talking straight. Wessler, there's no point in wasting each other's time. Is everything alright between you and Natasha? Do you think one of the fans is the culprit? Well, let's go with the third option. It seems safest.
Do you think one of her fans is the culprit? Someone who can't take rejection, maybe?
Why not? It's quite common.
It's a typical motive, indeed. Any ideas who it could be?
Yeah. Attorney General Hamtaro is obsessed with Natasha. But he's, more like the kiss on the hand, flowers bowing type. Throwing bricks through the window is not his style. I can't think of anybody else. Or rather, I can think of everybody else. About half the city, actually.
I get it.
Well, at least we got some extra points. And Mob Boss and Pussycat, how did you even meet? Would you be willing to testify at the station? There have been similar threats in the past. Well, we've been through the last question, so we've got... We could go with the first question.
The mob boss and the pussycat, eh? How did you even meet?
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off, Corpora, so I accidentally let some big secret slip out, huh?
A simple answer would work.
You know, Natasha, she's both connoisseur and muse. So, how was it? When was it exactly?
You don't remember? That's strange.
Ah, yeah. The Millions, of course. It was like another lifetime. It happened right here. Only this place was called the Millions back then. She was a dancer. Behind the scenes, I arranged opportunities for her on the big stage. Yeah, maybe she still doesn't know it was me. Then one day, I invited her for a drink with a promise that if she was willing to meet me, I'd buy the place for her.
I guess she was willing.
The next day, she had the club in her name.
Well, that is romantic.
Yeah, there are many kinds of romance, Birdman. There's cheap and there's expensive. You get what you can afford.
Or at least we now know how Natasha got this place under her ownership. We only have one question over here. Do you live in the same house as Natasha?
Do you live in the same house as Natasha?
Oh, you're really something. Natasha's a free woman, but mostly, yeah, at my place in Gold Town. But she has her own kind of a weekend house.
How often does she use the weekend house?
Yeah, every other weekend, roughly.
I see. That's very important information.
Yeah, if you say so.
We've got two questions here. Is she completely alone when she's there at the weekend? So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone. Well, we can go with the first one.
Is she completely alone when she's there at the weekend?
As I've told you, Natasha's a free woman, huh? She's an adult. She doesn't need an escort. Or, she didn't need one until now.
Are you afraid for her? You know, a big star like her, alone in that house.
I never said a black car doesn't drive by 2 or 3 times a day, but, it's just caution. Huh. I'm not a monster after all, am I?
I suppose not.
This is the only option that we've got.
So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. But I'm 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since this started, and mostly in my company. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if you do, but, in our social circles, banquets and dinners are frequent.
Illegal gambling nights.
You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel.
Always putting it all on the red, right?
Yeah, you're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yeah, always on the red. Yeah, right.
So, can we meet your lady?
I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon.
That was pretty good. We got 5 stars and focus accuracy at 90%. We have a very important clue. Ibn's trying very hard to change the subject when it comes to the threats. He's obviously knows more than he's willing to tell. And final thoughts is that the legendary chicken police back in action. Still a bit weary, but untarnished. Good work. Alright, I'm good. I'm happy with my score, so let's continue.
Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about that, unfortunately.
Hey, we should grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Oh.
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
Sonny.
Say, Clawville still lying in my bed, and it's dead.
That was, unique.
Oh, that is cute. Nobody has ever given me such a unique compliment before.
Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined.
More or less.
Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland.
You were amazing, dear. As always.
Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
But of course.
Ibn will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk. Then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out.
With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me.
Doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey.
I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance.
So far, that was a very wonderful cutscene. And we managed to witness Natasha singing, and it's beautiful. I loved it. Yeah, let's go on. We have the opportunity to talk to Natasha. Probably a painting of Natasha, most likely. There's a mirror, and there's the exit. Let's look at what's in the notebook. Yeah, we've got an extra clue. Ibn's trying very hard to change the subject when it comes to the threats. He obviously knows more than he's willing to tell. And we have, let's see, we have some information on Natasha. She was the singing sensation of the millions and later became the owner under Ibn's patronage. Not much is known of her past before this, though. Okay, let's see what else we have. Do we have any more codex entries? No, we don't. And we have to look at the stats. Okay, we've got some decent stats so far. Alright, let's see what we do first. Let's look at the mirror.
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, you know, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it.
Well, let's look at the painting as well. That's probably a very naked picture of Natasha.
Gee, that is a, unique picture. And kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
Let's see if there is any more extra information we can get out of Natasha.
This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
Maybe a little wand and mirror.
So this is where the magic happens, right? The big transformation.
Every woman needs a little magic, and every man needs some illusion.
You're right there, Angel. So this is where the magic happens, right?
Let's open up the book. It says The Chicken Police Story, The Seventh Floor Predation by Meredith H. Marble. It's a collectible. I wonder. Nope, doesn't seem to do anything here. Let's take a look at Natasha first.
This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
You do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure.
Some extra personal info. And we can start questioning her as well. We'll take a look at her profile once more. And Natasha is a mysterious woman indeed, and seems dangerous too. But she's undoubtedly in serious trouble. The question is she the source of the problem, or is it someone else? Alright, let's go out. See what we can do. We can speak to her for once more.
Seriously, how did you find me? Not even my boss knows where I live.
Although I didn't include Ibn in my little private mission, some of his resources were still available to me.
Yeah, let me guess. There's someone at the station working for him.
Someone? You're so cute when you're playing naive.
Have you ever had dealings with the police?
Not in this city.
And otherwise?
Does it really matter, Mr. Featherland?
Maybe it does. More than a little.
I'm afraid you'll have to unravel that thread yourself. But you will find nothing but a dead end.
I'm gonna start with the questioning.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger.
She's in neutral right now, and we have impression as confident as her impression. Let's talk about her performance.
That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time, but this stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
She's also mysterious, and we could talk about her. The picture on the wall is quite daring, or the place is very elegant, and so is her room. Let's talk about the picture.
The picture on the wall is quite daring.
Only if you knew how old I was at the time.
I think I'm on a slippery slope here.
Come on, don't be shy. Ask me.
All right. How old were you?
Did you really believe I'd tell you?
You're quite a player, aren't you?
Life is anything but a game, detective.
You tell me.
I've been flattering her a little bit. Let's talk about either what do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats, or what can you tell me about Ibn Wessler? Let's ask about her boyfriend first.
What can you tell me about Ibn Wessler?
You should be more specific. What do you want to know?
She is very cold. Well, we can go with how much do you know about Ibn's business dealings? Don't you think it's a cliched formula, the bimbo and the mob boss? How did you meet Ibn, if I'm not too intrusive? We can go with the third one. The second one is probably going to offend her a little bit, especially if you're going to call her a bimbo.
How did you meet Ibn, if I'm not too intrusive?
Of course you're intrusive, but I guess that's an occupational hazard.
Well, yes.
I was a dancer here in the club, in Anita Jenkins' chorus. When she was in a good mood and allowed it, sometimes I even did her vocals for her, although she thought I was an upstart little whore.
Did you see a correlation between your partner's activities and threats? If Ibn has anything to do with it, how does Ibn treat you nowadays? Let's go with the last option.
How does Ibn treat you nowadays?
Like a prince treats a princess. Maybe that sounds like a cliché.
A little.
He holds me in the hollow of his hand. He always has. He's never hurt me. He couldn't. Recently, he's been a bit distracted and nervous, but there's heavy weight on his shoulders right now. That's why I didn't want to burden him with any of this.
Let's talk a little bit more about his distant and nervousness.
Distant and nervous. Could you elaborate?
Ibn is devoted and attentive. He sends someone every hour to ask me if everything's all right. But I can't even remember a time when we were together. Just the two of us. Recently, he spends a lot of time here and in other clubs. When he's with me, he's nervous and preoccupied.
Why is that? Don't you think it's strange?
I don't think it has anything to do with the threats. It started earlier.
Any ideas about a cause?
None. Maybe it's stress. Ibn's working on doing more and more of business legally. That's kind of hard for someone like him.
Is he trying to get himself out of the underworld?
Maybe.
That's interesting. Thank you. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know.
And yes, she is scared, of course, because of the threats that were painted against her on her wall at her home. What was in those threats exactly?
What was in those threats exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So,
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Well, at least we now have a new clue. We can say no one's ever seen a culprit, not even a shadow. Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you? What about Phil Marlowe? Was he here because of you? I suggest you lie low. We could go with the first one. No one's ever seen a culprit, not even a shadow.
No one's ever seen the culprit? Not even a shadow?
That's one of the most curious things. Ibn has men everywhere, literally, my shadows, ghosts in every alley. But no one saw anything.
One of them could be the culprit.
Ibn pays his animals well, and he's the most dangerous man in the city. A combination that nullifies your theory, I believe?
Maybe, ma'am. Love is capable of insane miracles and miraculous insanity.
What poetry. Did you ever think about writing a book?
Never. I'm afraid I'd learn too much about myself.
Maybe that's the point. I would read about you. Not like the chicken police Pulp Fiction.
Furry hell. Do you read that trash?
Like everyone else in the city.
Oh, great.
I think it's flattering, even as badly written tales of heroes in the gutter.
You enjoy it?
Well, just a little, Sonny. Just a little.
Nice. So we've got two options over here. We've got a dark shadow from the past, an ex-lover or husband maybe. So it's not a fan and not an inside job. Who do you suspect? Let's go with the second option.
So it's not a fan and not an inside job. Who do you suspect?
Aren't you supposed to know that?
Usually, yes. But I've got nothing to go on. And you don't have a hunch.
Maybe I do. But first, I want to know if you'll even accept my case.
I'm here, aren't I?
That's true, but I must know if I can trust you.
The proof of the pudding is in the eating.
I wish it was that simple.
Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here.
Alright, let's talk about Molly. It's time to stop beating about the bush.
Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
Looks like you messed up, Natasha.
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing.
Or I could go with the first one, or I could go with the second one. What exactly do you want from me? You played me from the start, didn't you? Ooh. This is gonna be a tough one. I can either be very on to the point, or I can start insulting her. Probably go with let's go with the first option.
What exactly do you want from me?
You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dips, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and...
Whatever it takes.
Not exactly, but something like that.
You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case.
I'm not afraid.
You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed.
You must solve this. As soon as you can. Money's not an issue.
Ay, we only have 60% accuracy. Let's try doing retry.
Natasha is a confident woman. That was a remarkable...
Let's go with a little bit of a rude question.
The place is very elegant, and so's your room.
Why, thank you.
I kind of feel like I'm in a museum.
Well, that depends on the kind of museum.
The kind with nice things.
Oh.
Suspiciously nice things, just like you.
Do you think I'm suspicious?
We'll see about that.
Try me.
Can go with the admirers part.
Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
Ah, I see.
Why, Deborah, she's a nice girl, but why didn't you come to me? Do you have any material evidence concerning the threats? The whole place stinks. What are you trying to make me do? Let's go with the first one.
Why Deborah? She's a nice girl, but why didn't you come to me?
Didn't you ask her the same thing already?
I did, but I like to hear it from all sides.
Well, since this whole thing started, I admit I'm not too keen on leaving my home. When I do, it's only with an escort.
Ibn Wessler has nothing to do with this?
Ibn has everything to do with me. Almost everything. But I didn't want to upset him with this. He thinks I'm overreacting.
Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha...
Skip the dialogue here. What was in those threats?
What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
Alright, let's okay, we've done with the first one, and we probably won't take the third one. Let's go with the second one. Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you?
Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you?
You mean I'm a cat and he's a rat?
Every interracial relationship has risk, but yes, this one's more conspicuous than most.
Clawville's a very open and free city, but I guess you see more radical transgressions than I do.
One of the most common causes in homicidal and predatory cases, ma'am. So, yes.
Well, I don't know about that. Nobody ever questioned our relationship openly. We are what we are. And you know, if you're interested in my personal feelings, danger fills our relationship with a flavor no other can replace.
It must be one interesting relationship, that's for sure. I'm not sure I can feel the same, but I can certainly understand it.
Maybe one day you'll experience it, Sonny. Have you ever been with a predator before?
Well,
Well,
that's unsteady ground, Natasha. Let's turn the questioning around if you don't mind.
as you wish, Sonny.
Oh, we've got only one option here. How many fools like me have you used up, Natasha?
How many fools like me have you used up, Natasha?
In all my life? Well,
I just forget it. I don't want to know. Curiosity killed the cat. No pun intended.
I'm just joking. You're not a fool, Sonny. I know that was supposed to be a kind of insult, but it usually rolls right off me. I can't take cock-a-doodling, so you can put aside the strutting stuff while you're talking to me.
Fair point. Broadcast received, ma'am. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here.
All right.
Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well.
Okay, I can go with the. We can keep going with the first one, or we can do the second one. The detective meter is back at 50% almost.
You played me from the start, didn't you?
It wasn't my intention.
I'm an old cock, Natasha. I've played too many of these games, and I've been on the losing side often enough.
So, you're going to walk away?
You're damn right. I don't know if it's worth it for me.
Look, Sonny, money's not an issue.
Oh yeah, your fawn had already mentioned that. But unfortunately, it'll be hard to spend all that dough when I'm dead.
Dead? Don't even say that.
Do you have a gun?
Me?
Of course you, Natasha. Do you have it on you?
Not at the moment.
Well, let me give you some advice. Keep it with you, always. Maybe in your purse.
You don't think they, whoever they are, would hurt me?
Don't be naive, Natasha.
You're right. I'll keep it with me.
I don't want to scare you, but two cops snooping around can mess something like this up, even if it's just two roosters.
You keep snooping? Thank you, Sonny.
Maybe you're getting yourself into even deeper trouble with me. Thank me when this is all over.
Oh, it's still at 60% though. Oh no. Ay ay ay. So at least we'll go with the continue this time, but at least we have an important clue using the whore word. It's brief, but it says a lot regardless.
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Okay, we have a new clue, and we have an extra item. Let's see what we got. We have a key. Oh, wow. That's all he has to say. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, we've got an extra clue here. Natasha is afraid, and her fear is genuine. But she isn't telling me everything regardless, and I don't like it. No, that's true. Oh. Natasha has invited me to a weekend house to show me something. In any other situation, I would be glad about it, but in this case, I am worried. The threat, or rather, the threatening word in a message sent to Natasha is simply whore. It's brief, but it says a lot regardless. I'm loving the colors in the notebook. So, do you have any extra information on Natasha? Natasha's a mysterious woman indeed and seems dangerous too, but she's undoubtedly in some serious trouble. The question is she the source of the problem or is it someone else? Okay, we got do we have more extra codex? I'm a little bit bummed about only getting decent cop and only getting 60% on the focus accuracy. It looks like we're done for now with this room. Let's leave here for now.
Well,
Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive, huh?
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh.
Okay, do we get to... do we have any extra people? We've got the henchman, we've got Olivia. Do we have... Let's talk to the henchman.
Excuse me, pal. My name is Santino Featherland.
Gabriel, what do you want, chickens?
Do you happen to know where Mr. Wessler went?
Do you take me for a fool? Get out of here while I'm in a good mood, birds.
Okay. Thanks, big boy.
He does look ferocious. Alright, let's take a look at what we've got with this henchman. Not on this page. Ah, here we go. Gabriel. His name is Gabriel the Grinder Antipov. That's a Link's special feature, quiet and deadly. He is most likely from Stowonia. This bobcat is most likely Ibn Wessler's goon. Let's see if we can talk to Olivia once more.
Oh, it's you. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Look, we really don't want to dig into your personal life, but...
But what exactly is my relationship with Mr. Wessler? And how close am I to him?
You don't beat around the bush, ma'am.
Well, actually, I remember.
I don't have time to chit-chat, Mr. Featherland. So yes, I'm not one to beat around the bush. And no, I'm not sleeping with Mr. Wessler.
Well, thanks for the quick and straight answer.
Anything else?
We can ask her a couple of questions. Talk about Czar Club.
Do you come here often, Olivia?
No, not really.
Well, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about Whistler.
You know, Ibn's not as ferocious as you'd think. On the contrary, he's become very different recently.
I heard. Don't you find that weird? A sudden change of heart?
Sometimes an animal just has enough. Fed up and wants a change. I deeply respect that.
Well, thank you for your honesty, ma'am.
That's great. We're getting some more information.
What's your relationship with Miss Natasha Gutsenko?
We've talked a bit, that's all.
There's no tension between you? You know, the pretty secretary.
Well, thank you for your compliment, Mr. Featherland. No, no tension. Natasha's an intelligent woman. I respect her.
Is that mutual?
That I can't tell.
Let's talk about the weekend house.
If I'm not mistaken, Natasha has a weekend house in Flowerville.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell me anything about it?
I've never been there. Allegedly, it's beautiful. Elegant and luxurious. Just like Natasha herself.
Alright, looks like we've asked all that we can.
Look, Olivia, you know, last time...
Please, Marty, there's no need.
Yes, there is. I know I wasn't a gentleman, and I know I should have called you, but I was young and...
You don't have to explain. I wasn't waiting long for your call. I forgot about it fast.
That's good to hear, I suppose.
Nice, we got some extra personal information about Olivia. Alright, let's see what we can get. We have some information with Ibn. And we've got, let's see, we've got... Ibn was acting quite strange and he hesitated when I mentioned how he met Natasha. It would be interesting to hear the story from another point of view. After the show, Ibn left the Czar Club suspiciously fast. Do you have any more information? No, we don't. But we do have some information on Olivia. Marty dated Olivia for a short period of time. That's it. I don't want to know more about this. It's awesome. This is awesome. Do we have any more extra information? Probably not. We have Gabrielle. That's it. What about some extra clues? Do we have some extra clues? Nope, we don't. What about some codex? Do we have an extra place that we can go to? So far we don't. Nope, so far we don't have extra places to go to. Do we have anything about Lewis? Nope, we don't have anything about Lewis. Do we have anything more about Natasha? We don't either. Alright, let's... Okay, there is this guy, this lady, and a fox fella. Let's talk to Filmar.
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was, kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're, too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
The reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you'd think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Ah, old croakers. You're safe while I'm here. Okay, I didn't say anything.
Alright, we have an ask function that we can do. The Fulmer, but let's take a look at what new item we just got. Oh, we've got a piece of paper.
We stepped into it, didn't we?
Aye. We've got a piece of paper, but this looks like some phone numbers, a list of phone numbers. I don't know what, I didn't see any names that we recognize yet, but well, we'll probably get back into it later.
Of all that's furry, what kind of a list is this?
Exactly. I have no idea, but I don't even want to find out.
Those names, all top dogs. Maybe they play cards together.
Sure, that's very likely. Anyway, I pried this list out of a dead man's hand. Somebody dropped him outside the forest, a few miles from the Wessler residence.
I should have known she was keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets? She's the secret herself.
Thanks, Filmar. This could be important.
Don't thank me. Maybe I've just signed your death warrant.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Ah, shut up, Marty.
Alright, we have a new location that just opened up. And you can ask a couple of questions to Filmar. First, let's take a look at what's available. Oh, I only recognized a few names on the list Filmar shoved into my hand, but all of them belonged to the respected elite of Clawville. It could be a wedding roster, but I doubt that's the case. This is getting even more and more suspicious. We have some information about Natasha. The list of all those imposing names must have something to do with Natasha, and thus with the threats too. And let's see, what else? We've got some more information of Filmar. It seems Filmar also used to work for Natasha, but he got out of the case before the ground got too hot. Anyway, he kept a piece of evidence, as any good PI would do, which could be very useful to us. Okay, we've got... don't have any extra information, it seems like. Oh wait, did we read that part? Ibn's currently busy with some kind of meat substitute business. That's what he and his assistant told us anyway. At least we now know that he's doing some synthetic meat on the side. Nope, nothing more. Okay, we're gonna be asking Filmer a couple of questions and then I'll be ending this episode. Alright, let's talk about Wessler first.
The truth is, Ibn's a dirty bastard, but he's likable. It must be his charisma that snared Natasha.
Maybe there's more to it than simple wild love.
Who knows? Animals commit the dirtiest of deeds for wild love.
You've got a point.
A strange list of names.
We stepped into it, didn't we?
That's an understatement. All of these names
belong to the upper crust. Yeah, I noticed.
It's only some sex cult, if you're lucky.
Don't even go there, Marty.
Yeah, all right.
More about Natasha.
Wonderful girl. Either I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her.
That's funny. I swear I've heard that before.
To be honest, me too.
Let's talk about the weekend house.
So, Natasha invited us to her weekend house.
That's either very good news or very bad news.
50%. That's not that bad, is it?
That's an admirable attitude.
Attitude, yeah, he's got that. Most of the time, I think that's all he's got.
Hey.
And finally, a little bit more about Olivia Blackwig.
Who is this woman anyway? She's like Ibn's shadow. Nobody knows anything about her.
I don't know if she has anything to do with the case, but it's worth keeping an eye on her anyway.
More women, more trouble.
You already fantasizing?
Even the sight of young women make me tired. Anyway, most people say she's the rat's lover too. But next to Natasha, I doubt he'd want her. Anyway, the pussycat would have already torn her to shreds.
Could be.
Okay, so let's get some last information from Filmar.
Take care of yourself, old bird.
You're one to talk.
Okay, it seems that we have opened up Natasha's house. And we probably don't have any more information to look for right now.
Remember that other case with the turtle and the rabbit fella?
Oh gosh, Marty, where do you dig these out?
My mind is a bottomless pit, my friend. Was the rabbit a runner? And the turtle was his buddy, or?
His dealer, actually.
Ah, yeah, you're right. We found the rabbit near the river with a missing leg. Brutal stuff.
2 missing legs, actually, but yeah.
What happened with the turtle in the end? It's a little bit blurry.
Your bottomless pit of a mind is a dark and sad little place. The turtle thought he would run faster if he ate the legs of the rabbit.
You know what? This city's seriously fucked up.
It is, Marty.
Ay, that was some very dark conversation happening.
Ah, this is the life, huh? What's this guy do? Realist?
Okay, we've done this guy.
Creepy little squirrel girl?
Are you still calling her creepy little squirrel girl? Should we talk to the bartender some more?
Hey, Big Nose, where did Mr. Wessler go?
Unfortunately, I don't know, Big Face. But I wouldn't tell you even if I did. Really?
Say, did anyone ever tell you that you're an irritating piece of
I Anything else, dear sirs?
Alright, I think I'm done insulting this guy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Chicken Police. And there's been quite an interesting development in this during this Let's Play episode. At least we got to interview Miss Natasha and we got to be in the very very fancy Czar bar. Alright guys, until next time, just let me know into the comments below if you enjoyed the series. And everybody else, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.